It's now officially confirmed that Kinger won't be part of the new adventure, raising even more questions about his place in the digital circus. Recently, the Wacky Watch website dropped a playful teaser that pulls us into the vibe of Spudsies. But here's the thing, it doesn't really reveal anything groundbreaking. This is a stark contrast to the leak before episode 3, where we practically got the whole storyline ahead of time. That said, there's one intriguing detail in this teaser menu, Dobby Dog. It's a clear nod to a character who's supposedly no longer in the digital circus, or so we're told. Remember how I mentioned Kinger at the start of this video? There's a good chance that he's no longer one of the main characters. Glitch and Gooseworx have likely shared everything they wanted us to know about him. Keeping him in the circus, despite his popularity among a significant portion of the audience, might just not make sense anymore. Kinger seems to have been a vivid representation of what might eventually happen to many of the digital circus residents.
What happened?
I just remembered a really funny joke.
Why did you scream then?
But based on the final scenes of episode 3, it's clear that once you start losing your mind, there's no going back. Something Kaufmo's story in the pilot episode already proved to us. Episode 4 could very well be Kinger's swan song. Their one-on-one encounter with Kane might end in tragedy, or perhaps they'll come to an agreement that Kinger no longer has the strength to remain in this digital world. This could explain why the creators might have slipped in a subtle nod to a new character, one fans have been speculating about for quite some time now. Today we're diving into an official character who has a strong chance of making their debut in the upcoming episode. Plus we'll discuss a fan-made character who just might step into Kinger's role. Despite everything mentioned earlier, the appearance of a new character in episode 4 seems unlikely. However, such a scenario is quite possible in the upcoming episodes. Additionally, the next character to leave the digital circus might not be Kinger, but someone entirely different. So, let's dive into this so-called theory. I don't think a new character will appear before episode 8, and there are some solid reasons for that. First, as I mentioned, the deep dive into each character will only finish with episode 6, and at least one more episode is essential to give us a view of all the digital circus residents from the perspective Gooseworx intended. Removing a character right after fully revealing everyone's backstory would feel out of place, but by the end of episode 7, something intriguing could happen. One of the characters might start gradually transforming into what Kaufmo became a year ago. Before we figure out what this new character might be like, their personality, how they interact with others, and who they might replace, we need to consider who could actually earn this spot. Snaker is a fresh face, someone we've never seen before, whereas Dobby has already appeared in the digital circus, albeit as an abstracted monster. This could have been an intentional hint from the creators, or it might mean Dobby could somehow return to the digital circus. I'm almost 100% unsure about this though, since as we understand it, each abstracted character didn't end up that way due to Kane or some illness. Instead, they lost their sanity gradually or experienced something truly disturbing, like in Ragatha's case.
Hey, Pomni! Thank you. Help me out here! I understand that you don't want to, though.
Most likely, an abstracted monster loses all ability to think and reason, especially in the later stages, making it nearly impossible for anyone from that basement to ever return. Now let's talk about who might be the lucky character that Snaker could replace. First up is Pomni. Despite her growing instability, which worsens day by day.
Why? Every day I spend here is one nightmare after the next. I knew it would end up like this. He just wants me to suffer. I really am in hell.
We're still seeing positive changes in her behavior, reinforcing the idea that she's untouchable among the digital circus residents. Plus, the fact that she's the face of the show pretty much rules out any speculation about her becoming an abstracted monster. Jax is on a similar level of popularity and importance within the circus, making him just as unlikely a candidate for such a fate.
What do you, the viewers, think it is?
Will you stop doing that?
Jax, as the perfect antagonist, has to be part of the circus. Without him, the entire digital circus would lose much of its captivating, intriguing energy.
Kane, is this one of your NPCs or is this a new sucker? Because if it's a new character, we're gonna have to redo this whole theme song.
Pomni and Jax don't need to worry about their survival, while Kinger is genuinely on the edge, facing madness and potential abstraction.
This one's full of syrup too.
This man has been through a lot of pain in his life, and and that experience left him with emotional scars that haunt him every day. Literally every day, Kinger tries to face his inner demons, and at this pace, his ultimate fate seems to be reuniting with his wife. Watching Kinger's behavior,
Sup, fellas?
Jax! We found the Zooble hole.
we can only sympathize with him and wish him the peace he might only find in the basement. It's likely Gooseworx shares this sentiment, making Kinger the most likely candidate to leave the amazing digital circus by the end of Season 1. But he's not the only one. There's another character who also endures the daily weight of the amazing digital circus. Can you guess who? Zooble, from her very first scenes, has shown us her slightly sharp personality.
Don't exactly.
You can't.
What?
Shut up, Jax. But yeah, he's right. Welcome to your new home.
For a long time, we couldn't pinpoint the exact cause of it, but in episode 3, we finally saw the main issue and the root of her deepest pain, her own body.
I hate this body. I hate all these stupid removable pieces. I just want to find something that feels...
Perhaps Zooble suffers from her issues even more than Kinger does, but there's a major difference between them. Zooble has a strong personality, and simply having an uncomfortable body isn't enough to break her. Remember the leak from Gooseworx that placed Zooble, alongside Jax and Pomni, in the cast of Untouchable characters. Gooseworx directly confirmed that Zooble was with us in the pilot, and will definitely remain until episode 9. Ragatha, on the other hand, is the calmest and most cheerful character, someone resilient enough to endure truly frightening events.
It's okay. What you need to do right now is find Kane. He'll be able to fix me up
And even though Jax often tries to provoke her into aggression or belittle her in some way, that doesn't take away the optimism that Ragatha has. And let's remember the scene between Pomni and Ragatha.
Hey, Ragatha,
Yeah?
I just want to say thanks for always being concerned about me. I feel like through everything, I haven't really been appreciative enough about that.
This is the cornerstone that adds Ragatha to the Untouchables, as the friendship between Pomni and Ragatha only grows stronger. It would be very strange to take away the main character's possibly only friend. That leaves us with Gangle, who raises a lot of questions and doubts about her eternal presence in the digital circus. Just take a look at her mental health.
I'll be sure to ask them next time I see him. Thanks again for the tea. I had a really nice time here.
Of course, episode 4 could change the game, but even if it does happen, it's unlikely to last long, as the character of Jax is still in play.
Which door should we choose?
Not sure. Let's try this out.
However, there is a chance that Gangle could cope with her emotional pain, and I think that chance is around 40 to 50%. This means Gangle, along with Kinger, falls into the category of characters who could potentially disappear from the digital circus forever. But I still lean more towards the idea that Kinger will be the one to leave the digital circus in the 7th or 8th episode. That means it will be time for Snaker. And now we've finally reached the point where we can speculate about what Snaker will be like. If we think logically, Snaker should be somewhat like Kinger, fearful and a bit unhinged, but that would be too predictable and dull for the digital circus. A new character should bring something unique to the setting. We know each character's strengths and weaknesses, but don't you think the digital circus is missing a real leader? Someone who can genuinely rally everyone together toward a shared goal. I have this strong feeling that, deep down, every character in the digital circus wants one thing: to escape and return to their families in the real world. And I think Snaker would be perfect for this role. It would be an incredible plot twist. Given that TADC will likely end after Season 1, a story like this would give us a satisfying, logical conclusion. Snaker could be different from everyone else, embodying strength and bravery, but also showing a genuine desire to help everyone reach their common goal. This could be the most exciting and ideal development. Of course, there's always a chance that none of the characters will become an abstracted monster and everything will remain as it is, though that might feel a bit anticlimactic. What do you all think? Let me know, and don't forget, we've got new videos coming out every 2 days, sometimes even more often.